Dad, when he was in Kansas City, played with frogs. I guess that's why I like them. Here he is. Here I am. I am the queen of all wondrous lands with my family, my 2 frogs. Mama and Papa, he's catching flies so the rest of his family can fish. And
well, how did you find these frogs?
Well, this originated about 20 years ago when one of my children's school friends come into the hospital to see me with a frog. Brought me a frog, and I said to the mother, "What did that girl bring me that frog for?" She said, "Oh, I don't know. I guess she thought she was going to croak." So I had it several years, and I gave it to my grandson, and because he liked it when he was about under a year. And then, I don't know, I just decided I'd collect again. I got 1 frog, and before I realized it, I've got about 80 given to me. And keeps this old guy here busy catching bugs for the fishermen. Oh, that little green frog is the one that started. And it is over 20 years old. Oh, yeah, it's close to 30. And my grandson had it for 15 years and he gave it back. But that's the original one that I got in the hospital. Then all the rest is mother and father and sons. They come in family of groups. Some of those come, the Hawaiian one from Hawaii, from my grandson that does the hula hula, and some of them come from the States. They've all been given to me from different people. Okay, this is my company, and her name is Jessica, and I got her to keep my husband company when he was living, but now she keeps me company. She guards me a lot. Okay. There you go. What? Hey, look about it. Look at Jim. Hey. She loves to eat. Yeah.
How old is Jessica?
Jessica now will be 9 in February. And she was, I've got the papers for her, she's a prized show dog, and she's had 3 litters of pups.
What kind of a dog is she?
She's a Chelsea or a Sheldon, whatever you want to call them, small collie, border collie like. Oh. This is the family tree that I made so that everyone could come. When they come, they could fill it in what I didn't have. It originated here, and where Grandpa was married twice, so this is his first wife who died with 2 children, and this is his second wife, and it branches off to his first son, his second son, by his second marriage, his first son, and then his second son, third, 4th daughter, 5th daughter, 6th daughter, and this one didn't live, a daughter, and then up here, the boy. the last boy. And then when the people came, it shows who their wives were and their children. But each children that came to the reunion had to help fill in, to help me. And that's what they did, so everyone would know. And it was just a basic thing to show how the family was made of the Frank Cooper. In 1980, I was talking to my cousin, and I said, well, it would be nice to get a family reunion because there are cousins that don't know each other. So, okay, she was going to help me. We were going to do it together, but she got killed in November. So I carried on alone in January, and it was held for the first in 1980. Jack and I, my husband, we had a quarter section in Bowman, and we figured it was a good place, good yard. So in 1981, I got working on, and I realized I had to do it alone, but my Aunt Eva helped me a lot. So it took in a lot of letter writing, phoning, and collecting people as far as the states. Then we had the first one with over 100, and that's 1983. Jack and I did the second. And then in 1987, we did the third, and it was all in the same place on the farm. In the course of these reunions, when I look over, there has been a number deceased, including my husband. But I thought it was a good start for the cousins to meet for the first time. But one thing I do want to say before it goes on, that is in 1981, and this is in the year 2000. And I'm very happy to know that my cousins and the people that come remember me gratefully at Christmas with cards and letters yet, and I do with them. Okay, these are a number of the cards that I get as for since 1981, not only union members but friends too, and the envelope on the door is full of letters, so we still remember each other, which is quite some years. That is Grandma and Grandpa Cooper, Robert James and Emma, what's her name? They lived up on Morse, Alberta, the last of retiring. That is Eva Bird, and her daughter-in-law is putting on a corsage I got for her, and she gave me the addresses and lots of help for me. The only helper I had for the first reunion in '81. And these two ladies, one of them is Aunt Leda, John's wife, and she was the oldest member of the first reunion, '81. She's only 90. This is some of the campers, travel homes, fifth wheel on our farm for the reunions. This is a group picture of the Ray family and their siblings. This is mainly the Ray family. That is just some of the mixed gatherings of the Cooper reunions. These are my caterers for the first reunion that I had a banquet. They put up a banquet for the first day. Later, we looked after them for the next few days at the farm. This is just one of the family gatherings I happened to pick of John Cooper and Leda. And this one is us four Frank Cooper's girls that were there, including me. That's Francis and Edith. And that is Margaret, me, and my young sister, Doreen, at one of them. Robert, James, and Emma came from Kansas City to Warner, Alberta in 1910, the same year as my mother came as a boat child from England, and they settled in Warner. And they only lived there until 1 year, until Bill was born. Then they moved to the homestead, and here they stayed at Faith until 1937. When Ray got married, they moved off there and went to Foremost, Alberta, which was their last place to live. Picture of Robert James and Emma, who is his second wife. That is Robert James, who is the son of James Cooper and Harriet Johnson. That is a picture of James Cooper, who is the father of Robert James. This is a picture of Harriet Johnson, who is Robert James' mother. This is Robert James' parents. And Harriet Johnson, James Cooper. Then this is his first wife, Edith Saunders, and this is his second wife, Emma Kate. This is Edith Saunders, and this is her parents, Sarah Williams and Manuel Saunders. This is Emma Kate, Robert James' second wife, and this is her parents, Sarah, Emmy, and Henry Bowman. This is Robert James Cooper, and this James Cooper, and his mother was Harriet Johnson. This is Edith Saunders, Robert James' first wife. Their first child is Elsie, married Clarence Hart, and had one boy, Floyd. It's Robert James' first wife, Edith Saunders, who had the second child. Edith married Marg Eldred, first son, Roland, second son, Judson, third is Wilma Jean Girl, and the fourth, Lillian. This is Robert James and his second wife, Emma Bowman, and they had the first boy, Cecil, who married Edna Hutton, and they had a first Roberta, Myrna, Adela, Ken, Alan, Verna, Darlene, Stuart, Gwen, Eileen, Ivan, and Viola. And their second boy was Oliver Francis, who married Lillian Robbery. And they had Francis, Edith, Margaret, Robert, Gordon, Doreen, Donald, Jackie, Delbert, Gary. And the third, John, who married Lida McGaffin. And they had Olive, Glenn, James, and Keith. There were four: Gertrude, who married Oma Meadow, and they had Ruth, Ethel, Kenny, and Marjorie. Then they had the fifth, Mildred, who married Bill Lockwell, and they had William, Charles, Joyce, and Robert. Then they had the sixth, Eva, who married Charles Bird. They had Ernest and Velma and Harold, or Bud, no. And then they had this girl, Ruth, never married or anything. She died young. And then there was Bill, who married Margaret Ree, and they had one boy, Richard James. Then Bill remarried Lola Kerr, and he took in, she already had a family of Robert James and Edith Saunders. This is a branch of their two children. And Emma Bowman, the second wife of Robert James, had 8 branches of children. She saw Oliver, John, Gertrude, Mildred, Eva, Ruth, who didn't live very long, and Bill. That's what. Frank Cooper, he was 21, just before he went in the Army. That's Frank Cooper when he was 21 in World War #1, and he was the only one of the Coopers in the Army services. And after the war, he came back home and was there at Executive, and then, I don't know, and then he moved to Dittsburg. They were only in Dittsburg for a while, and then he moved to Bowden and Innisfil. Died in Red Deer. That is a picture of Frank Cooper and Lillian May quite some years after me. Already 9 children. Robert James and Emma Bowman's children moved away and settled in, all of them in parts of Alberta. After that, they settled around parts of Dittsbury and southern parts of out of Olds, like Sundry and such like that, Westwood Hole, places like that. Mildred didn't move far away from Faith in southern Alberta, and Aunt Gertrude moved into Lethbridge. Aunt Mildred stayed around her home place of Florida, at Floran, around Foremost area, not far. And Aunt Gertrude lived in Lethbridge, moved to Lethbridge. Tray was carved by Oliver Francis Cooper while he was convalescing in the hospital in Halifax when he was brought back from France with Asiatic flu. This is the tray that Oliver Francis carved when he was in the hospital in Halifax, 1914 war, when he was brought back from France, Asiatic flu. And he'd done this with a penknife. He did a lot of other carving besides this, and also weaving and that. He was in the hospital with wool and that. And the handles were taken off his tote bags, or the army bags where he carried his gear, and put on the tray. This is what they call a mop bucket that Frank Cooper used during the war in the airport. This is a bucket that was presented to Oliver Francis Cooper, who started working in Penhold Airport up first of war, and it's still open, and he retired from work in '63. He had 20 years service. Number 85 was the employee's number they give Oliver Francis Cooper while employed. It was given to Margaret Eldred, his third daughter. I am now going to give it to his grandson, James Cooper. These are some of Margaret Cooper Eldred's crewel embroidery, the type of handicraft, and my husband made the frames out of yew wood. He always said that Indian looked like my mom. When we lived in Bowman, west of Bowman, we used to trade the white fish from the Indians, and we'd give them chickens and eggs. Margaret Eldred, who was the third daughter of Oliver Francis Cooper, married Jack Eldred, and we had this farm west of Bowden on a quarter section, and this is where we had the three family reunions, 81, 83, 87. We lived on it for 13 years, but we had it for 16. This is a wedding picture of Oliver Francis' third daughter, Margaret Cooper, who married Jack Eldred, and I was married to him for short 2 days of 52 years. Hello, here I am, Margaret Cooper, and I would like my nephew, James Thomas, to come and sit beside me, who is the son of Robert James, my brother. And we have done this work together. We broadcast of the past years for over 20 years.
Well, when was the last time we saw each other?
Oh, wait a minute. But the last time I did see Jim was when my brother passed away, and he was only 13, but Jim is now 52.
So it's been about 40.
Been about 40 years.
40 years.
I think he's got a little taller. Okay.
Well, we finally did it. You got your family tree story down on video to share with the cousins and the aunts and the uncles, and we hope that you enjoy it and that you can add to it and build the Cooper family story.
Yes, I hope you can, and when these are sent out one to you, I hope any donations are sent back so we can do something with it.
Good. Enjoy.
Enjoy it. And this will be good for the young generation to look at. This is a brick from our Bowman home place where I came from Didsbury when 5, and we were all raised there. And I left myself in 1942. And I think that's when my folks moved to Innisfail, Alberta, that year.
Oh, you know, we didn't hear the little green frog. Do you have any final words, Marg, on ancestors?
I hope you all will like the video, and it may be added if you know any history to above and below. I guess that's close enough. Now, do you want to know about, I'd like to say, James Fenimore Cooper, who has written 50 books and 33 novels, wrote The Last of the Mohicans.
And there's another writer, too, that wrote Little Women.
And then there's on Grandma Emma, her cousin wrote Little Women. Louise May Elcock was the author for Little Women. That was a relative of Grandma.
And what side would James Fenimore Cooper be on?
James Fenimore Cooper is supposed to descend way back to the Robert James, and we can't seem to find enough history on it yet. James Fenimore Cooper did most of his writing in Carsdale, New York.